G'day everyone. As the people who know me or who've followed me over a long period of time know that I love to shoot prime lenses, and I love that because of the sharpness and everything that's involved with shooting with a prime lens rather than a zoom lens. Unfortunately, I haven't had a local supplier that is willing enough to lend me one that I could actually review for you guys. I'm so thankful that I have eventually found an amazing local company that is called CR Kennedy. They're based in Melbourne and also in Sydney, so you can actually purchase these lenses online. They also have shops as well that you can actually go into, so that's another great feature of this as well. And they basically sell everything to do with the photo imaging industry, and they're selling professional lighting, they're selling lenses, they're selling all sorts of things like tripods, high-end cameras and everything else. So they're a great company to be associated with. So I have to thank them so much for lending me this lens. I've got it for a couple of weeks so I can try it out, and I'm really excited to see how it goes. So over the last couple of days I've been using this extensively, and I've really been impressed with how this lens performs. Now, it is quite a big lens, so I suppose that's one thing you do have to understand if you're going to use this lens. It is very, very large. It's actually 105 mil for if you want to put a filter onto this lens, so it's very, very big. In fact, if you wanted to put a filter onto this, you're really better off to use one of the square filters that you can push down to come over it. But overall, it seems to balance pretty well with this camera. Now, I'm using the A9 for all of the shots that you'll be seeing, but I've got the battery grip on, and that really does help, particularly if you're balancing the camera and holding in portrait mode. It's much easier to balance it that way. I've also found that if you want to, you can also hold underneath on here, which is the mount on here as well, that is put onto this lens. So I've found that I can hold onto the mount, and it does really help when you're stabilizing this lens. So let's talk about the lens itself. This lens is built like a tank. It is extremely well weather sealed, so you can use it in light showers and things like that, which is a really good thing as well. There is a switch on the side going from AF to manual focus, so you can switch that if you need to, and that's also a great feature, so you don't have to go through the menus to actually change those settings. So how does it go in real life? Well, after using it in a number of shoots over this weekend, I've even been out on the boat behind me using it. It's been absolutely fantastic. The autofocus is very similar to a lot of the native Sony lenses that I've been used. I've actually been surprised. Now, I have been using the A9, but the tracking and everything that I've used has worked very, very well. It may not be quite as fast as some of the fast glass that I use, like the 55mm obviously, but when you think of the amount of glass that this is moving around at 1.4, it is incredible, and I've found the focus to be tack sharp. Now, I haven't looked at the images on the computer yet, so I will still have to do that, but I have looked on the back of the screen and enlarged the images up on the back of the screen, and it does look particularly sharp. In fact, it's incredibly sharp. IAF worked very, very well. Stellar, in fact, so I was really surprised about that. Now, I did want to use it with the A9 because I wanted to give it the best performing camera that I could use from Sony. This is the Sony mount 105, so that's another good thing. So it is a native mount, and it seemed to work absolutely outstanding. And this has been a great thing for me because I have always said to my subscribers that I wanted to have a look at the 105 and the 135. The 135 I'll have a look at next. But one of the advantages with using this lens particularly is that if you're working in a tighter space, at least you have enough room to move. The 135 can, I believe, in certain spaces, if you're doing weddings and things like that, and you're working in those tight spaces, be a little bit too long. Whereas this is like a perfect balance between the 85 and the 135. So it's that perfect sort of thing in between. 1.4, which I did shoot with most of the weekend, looks absolutely amazing. As you know, I don't go around shooting brick walls and things like that. I base my assessment on real world images. So that's what you're going to be seeing when we I've finished this introduction, and you'll actually see how the lens performs in real life. But overall, I've been absolutely amazed with how well this has gone. And I really would even think about purchasing one in the near future. I've been that happy with it. Yes, it's heavy. It's not a lens that I'm going to grab out for the whole day, say particularly for shooting a wedding. But if I do want to grab a point of difference, this would be the lens that I'd love to grab out and to make that amazing image, because the focus is incredible, the eye autofocus is incredible, the image is razor sharp if you're dealing with 1.4, and you've got that amazing reach for that compression that you can get in as well. So let's have a look now at the actual shoot, and you can see what the images look like. I'll introduce you to Matisse, who's the model that I actually work with, and we'll go from there. So let me know what you think at the end of the video.